All right. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. This is Mark with the Fabric Hut, and welcome to another show and tell. I am so glad that you're here. Thank you to those of you who are joining us from Facebook Live or YouTube Live or even on Instagram. Really appreciate you being here. This is our every other week show and tell where we talk a little bit about fabrics. We talk about our kits, some of the products. We even bring on the occasional guest, which we're going to do again tonight. Super fun. And again, we're very happy that you're here. So as you join and as you get set up here into chat and get comfortable for a little bit, please drop your name and where you're from, where you're watching us from. I see a number of you have already bounced in. We're already at 43 viewers. Super excited about that. We are hot and rolling. This is awesome. Appreciate you being here. I see Lillian's coming from Sugar Land, Texas. Cheryl, there will be a replay after this is done. It generally takes a little while to process, and then the replay links are up and rolling. Pastry Queen's Farm Adventures. Love that name. Welcome. And Becky's come from Kingsport, and they're all coming in now. Here we go. All right. So real quick, here's the layout of the show. All right. I'm going to talk a little bit about some promotions. I've got a full sale page. Normally, you know, I send a link out. I'm going to put that into chat across the bottom right now so you can grab it. But this Facebook Live link, and I'll post it into chat as well here in just a moment. But I've got it chock full. It is chock full of stuff. There are multiple quilts. We've got some really cool ones. I'm going to show you a few things as well before we get rolling. And even the blades, all the blades sizes are on sale this week. So definitely take advantage of that. Let me grab that link and drop it for you folks into chat, and we'll get rolling while everybody's getting settled in. Again, numbers are really good. I see a lot of people. I'm not going to be able to catch all of you on your comments because I'm getting it from both YouTube, Facebook, and other. But yeah, we got Canada, Wisconsin, Dublin, Texas, upstate New York, Cedar City, Utah, all over. Thank you, thank you. We know that there were a lot of folks that are dealing with a lot of weather right now. So especially you folks on the East Coast, our prayers are with you. We'll talk a little bit about hurricanes during this show. So in that link, real quick, I'm going to grab my presentation screen here just a second here, and I'm going to share my screen. We're going to look at that Facebook Live page together. Here we go. Let's look at it together. Okay, there we go. And as you can see, we are looking at the deals. And the first thing I want to point out is the Boo Halloween. We're almost to Halloween. We've got this table runner here. You can use the drop down here, pink or green version. And again, we'll slide through this just a little bit to kind of see how cute this one is. It's got ghosts. It says Boo. Really clever little design. Great addition to your holiday decor. There's a darker green version. Oops, a little fast there. Sorry about that. But that is a great one on sale, $62.97. New quilt dropped today, folks. New quilt has dropped today. This is called Stellar Harvest. This is a bigger quilt. It's a little bigger than the ones we normally offer, 84 by 82 inches. You can see it. Really great. I can't wait to get my hands on this one. You know, it's a little different, but I love the pumpkins. I love the fall theme. I love the stars. Fabrics look incredible. That's a white on white, I believe. Super excited about this one. And so that one just launched today. So this one is available at a very good price. There are over 800 pieces cut out for you on this one. So take advantage of that. All right. Garden Starry Night. That's the one we looked at last session. This one is on sale again. And I think it's still on sale in the store. So this was a great one to grab as well. Another beautiful colored quilt. You know, blues and greens and whites, got that star theme going. It's a great kit. And then finally, Star Spangled. So a lot of you have seen that one now. I'd point out that on the website at regular price for everyone else, it's still at $225. But for you folks here, you still want to grab this one, it's still, you can get it for the $169. As I mentioned, the blades are on sale. You can get those at 40% off, 60 millimeter, and you can always use the drop down here. If you only want one, grab one. If you want 5-pack or 10-pack, which is your better value, definitely do that. Okay, but that's the sale page, and I wanted to just share that with you as we go. And those are live for you now, and they'll be live for a couple of days for those of you who are watching on the replay. Remember, even if you come in to watch on replay, drop your location. Please participate. I will see every comment that you make. Even if you make it 2 weeks from now, I'll still see it, and I'll respond, especially if you have any questions. All right, lots of folks coming in. We're quickly moving along. If you can do us a favor, go ahead and like. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe is great. Share is even better. Okay, now the next thing I want to talk about is this block here, and I want to bring it off the wall because I just had it hanging. This block right here is our hurricane block, and we've got a special program running on this one right now for our friend Leah Louise. And if those of you who don't know, she was on our last live together, and we were doing half square triangles. And so what we're going to do here is I'm going to bring Leah Louise on, and we're going to take a look at this promotion. We're going to talk a little bit about it. We're going to get an update on how things are going. So everyone, please welcome from Georgia, Leah Louise.
Hey, can you hear me, Mark?
I've got you just fine, Leah.
Fantastic. Hello, everybody. You know, there was a time the only thing Augusta, Georgia was known for was the famous Masters golf tournament. And now we have Hurricane Helene. And I wish we didn't, but that is what we've got now. And it's been quite an uphill battle. And we still don't have power. Our house was damaged, but we have a generator going out back. So you may hear some rumbling in the background. And my internet is on my phone on a hotspot. So I'll be with you as much as I can, but if anything happens, you'll just know that I'm okay, and just the electricity and power and internet are gone.
Well, we are super glad that everything is okay, and you're starting to get back to a level of normalcy with this.
My sewing room is the room that didn't get damaged, which is just incredible. And so I've had a lot of inquiries about what happened to your fabric. Well, it's all around us. My husband and adult son and I are all sharing one room. My sewing room, fortunately, is on the larger size. But we've been living in here for 2 weeks and no power. The kitchen is accessible. We have water. Luckily, we have a gas range, so we can at least boil water. But mostly, we were spending a lot of time outside and sleeping in the camper. And it's just been quite the adventure. And we just count our blessings and thank Jesus for bringing us through this and saving us. And so many people are still hurting, but my prayers go out right now to everybody who's facing Milton, who's coming across Florida. And these are folks that were just recently hit by Helene. So please keep them all in your hearts and your prayers, and good thoughts for them.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Yeah. And so for those of you who don't know, I see some comments in the chat here, and Leah, I know you don't get to see the chat from the guest role, but there's a lot of folks happy, good thoughts sending your way. But for those of you who don't know, Leah Louise does a lot of content and assistance here with us at the Fabric Hut, and she's part of our family. And we're a very small, tight-knit team, and a lot of the tutorial videos you see and some of the helpful hints and things like that on the YouTube shorts, those come from Leah Louise. And without her, we wouldn't have the ability to produce quality content, different perspectives where we can all learn, and we're very thankful for that. And so one of the things we did was we started a block-a-thon. And so there's a lot of folks talking about their hurricane block, and that's the one I was just showing you on the screen. And so what we're doing is we have a product listing on our website. I'm going to drop it into chat here. And it is for this hurricane block pattern. And I'm just going to bring it up to the screen for you here. It's the hurricane block pattern. And you get this pattern, and you can grab it. You can make a donation. Proceeds will go to Leah Louise to help rebuild. And as we know, these things all cost money when you have to rebuild and replace, especially from water or any type of damage. Water and smoke damage are absolutely the worst. But this block program is running, and what we're doing is everyone is sending, if you want to, you can just download the pattern. It's a great little pattern. I mean, I love it. It kind of looks like the swirl of a hurricane. I did mine in blues and white and greens, and you can download it and use it and make something out of it. Maybe make some additional quilts for neighbors to donate, or you can also, instructions have, you can send one block to me here in my office out here in the Dalles, and we'll assemble all of them. We're going to make a quilt for Leah, Louise, a memory, something comfortable, something that comes from our community. It's one of those things that we're super excited to do. I can tell you that over 500 people have downloaded since Monday at about 6:30 a.m. West Coast time. 500 people have downloaded this pattern. And so it's out there, available to you. I dropped it in the link into the chat. You can search Hurricane on the website and find it.
I just want to thank everybody who's downloaded the pattern. The idea of having a quilt made by people from the love in their heart and their love of quilting, in order to just turn a bad situation into a much better memory, I think is more than what anybody can ask for. It's really special, and I can't thank the Fabric Hut enough, and my fellow folks there at the Fabric Hut for helping, and Ricardo, who's one of the co-founders, when I sent the email out that I'm not going to be available for a while, he immediately came back and said, "Leah, what can we do?" And I said, "Hey, we're hanging in here. We're doing all right. We're all in one piece, and we are blessed." And then I know he and Sarah, and I believe you, Marc, too, were involved and came up with this idea. And I love it. I love the idea of it. And I hope we get so many blocks that we can put them on the front and the back.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm super excited. I've talked to a lot of customers and folks who have been interested in the project, who are getting involved. They've called with questions. They've emailed. My email box and my phone voicemail is constantly full with questions and reaching out. There's so many kind messages. It is truly a blessing to be part of this quilting community. We have so many great people out there. And I see even in chat here, I sent mine out on Tuesday. Mine is going in the mail tomorrow. I had to warn my post office lady. I said, "Hey, I'm going to set out a special sealable tote. If you get a load that doesn't fit in the mailbox, please put it in this tote so that we can keep them all safe." But luckily I work from home, so I will see them as they come. By the way, while we're saying that address that you're sending that to, that is my home office, and that is not the Fabric Hut. You couldn't come and shop, so I've had a few questions about that. That is not the Fabric Hut store. I will meet you for coffee if you are in town, but I have no shopping for you to do here at this office. So anyways, I wanted to talk a little bit about this block, and it's kind of interesting because, as I said, before the hurricane hit, Leah, Louise, and I were on talking about half square triangles, and we did a whole show where we talked about how they worked. And I'm going to show just a picture here of this block. And if you look at it, these are just how I start with a pattern when I'm first get one. This is my first copy. But if you look at it, it's all half square triangles with one solid square in the center. And half square triangles are super versatile, super fun. But as you can see, that's how that works out. So I thought it was kind of ironic that our pattern designer came up with one like that.
That's a perfect one. I love it. I think it's a pretty pattern, but what I like about it is when multiple blocks are joined together, you're going to get that alternating pattern in between where it looks like it's twisting and turning. And so that adds so much interest to your quilt.
Absolutely. And folks are asking, and I've seen them I've had multiple conversations. What's the color theme? We just use the blues and greens and whites just because it was an easy contrasting color, but choose whatever color suits you. I'm
a scrappy girl. I love the scrappy quilt. So go for it all, everything.
And that's exactly when I see the blocks being posted on Facebook. And if you join the Facebook group, not the retail page, but the private Facebook group, you can share your blocks in the post and see everyone else's blocks. There's a nice selection of those, and they're coming in all sorts of colors. And I just absolutely love it because I know how much Leah Louise likes Scrappy. And every time they call, I'm like, go wild, have fun with it, and make it scrappy. It'll be just fine. So while we're here, I'm going to talk about real quick on block assembly, just if that's all right with everybody. Of course, I'm not the expert. We've got one with us, but I'm going to drop the camera for just a second and see if we can't get into this just a little bit easier. And I know we've got some lighting challenges here. But when we're doing half square triangles, we're taking two square blocks in this pattern. This is a blue and a white on white, and we're sandwiching them together. And then the next thing that we have to do whenever we're doing just 2 by 2 half square triangles is we're simply going to draw a line. And again, most of this stuff, admittedly, I learned from Leah Louise's channel. And you draw the center line, and then you're going to want to make your marks for the other side so that you have your sewing seams. And so for me, I just drop it in, line it up here, and I draw for a 1/4 inch seam off of that center point 2 times. And correct me when I make a mistake, Leah, but you're here and I'm using just a pencil. Right? Just a pencil.
I like the idea, Mark, of you drawing in the sewing line. A lot of times when I do my center line, I use that as my guide for seam allowance. But drawing the actual sewing line will keep folks on track. And if you're not proficient yet at your 1/4 inch seam, this will make your half square triangle come together much better. That's a great idea.
So by drawing it, I know it's a little light and it's kind of hard to see today. And I'm not sure if I can help with that, but it will translate here. So this is what it looks like when it's sewn. Mm-hmm. So I have my center line here. And one tip that we talked about last session was snipping off these ends, which is super helpful.
It's a big time saver.
It saves time. And so I just did a loop, right, on this one. Now all I'm going to do is cut it right down the middle. And when I do that, I end up with 2, right? So I'm just going to do that real quick since we're on camera. And again, I don't do a lot of demos, folks, on camera, but I'm trying to do a little bit more. But if we split this like we do, and we fold them out, and of course we'd press it and do all those things. But there's one, and there's my other. And of course, I might need to square it up just a little bit. I'm still a novice quilter overall, not as experienced as a lot of you out there. But those are my 2 half square triangles out of that 2 pieces of fabric. So pressing that out,
beautiful.
They're nice and square, ready to go. I'm super excited. And then the second thing I'm going to show you is a very similar concept, but here, what we're doing is we're taking a larger piece of fabric, and this is in the instructions, and I wanted it to be a skill builder for us. We took the 5.5 inch squares, and we made a cross with our marker, and then we sewed a 1/4 inch seam allowance all the way around. So what happens when you do that, not only are we locking in our seams on the corners, but when I follow the guide here, I need a bigger ruler for this one. But when we follow, everybody be able to see that. Let me push this up just a little bit more. This is how we make 4 at a time. And I see I made a little mistake, and that's okay. I'm a little off on my sewing, but it's going to be okay because we're going to be squaring up anyways. But once I do this, I'm going to get 4 half square triangles right here. And that's another quick way to get these blocks done. So in the pattern, you're learning both, or you're doing both projects where you're doing a 2 half square triangle, a split half square triangle, and then 4 at a time. So there's
And
one.
Mark, if I can just offer a suggestion on the cutting,
Sure.
when you're cutting those, you did your first cut from corner to corner, and then you moved your pieces. Just leave them in place and cut the other corner at the same time. And
That
that saves you a little, and I think it might even give you a bit of a straighter cut when you do it that way.
sounds like a good idea to me. I was worried I was more worried about camera angle and what y'all could see, but I think that makes perfect sense. But as you can see, here we go. We're now into all of our squares for this project, and then it's just a matter of laying them out. And of course, I can't get this one apart, but you get all four here, which is really great. Then you're going to press them out, square them up, and start your assembly. And that's the beautiful thing about this block. It goes together super fast. It really does. It goes together super fast. You've got two of these, which we did with that blue, where the first cut of the 2x2, and then your fours came out of here. So this is your white and green, white and green, white and green, white and green. So there's your 4-pack that we just cut. So that is the block in a nutshell. But it does a couple of things, and somebody's going to get me for not closing my cutter right away. Don't come for me, people. Don't come for me. I'm okay. I didn't cut myself. We are clean. But that's how this block comes together, and I absolutely love it. Anything I missed that you think would be helpful, Leah?
No, that looks wonderful. The thing is to get those seams nice and straight so that when you fold your half square triangle over, that seam lays nice and flat. And then the trimming will square up any little, snafus in your sewing. So that's a big help too.
Yeah, and one customer had sent me a picture this morning, and I'm just going to show. She's like, "Oh, my points didn't end up where they're supposed to," and it's right here. Let me see if I can get it here on the screen. But I wanted to tell her and show her, and so I sent a picture back, and she'll get that probably tomorrow. But she was worried that these weren't all the way to the edge, and I'm like, no, we don't want that, because this is where your seam is going to go. So your seam is going to run right through there when we add another block. When we add somebody else's, Mary from Texas, we're going to add her block up here. She's going to have that same thing, and this is our 1/4-inch seam, and so we're going to be right on the tips. So
that's exactly right. And what I like to do when I'm sewing my blocks together is sew from the side with the corner. Sometimes you'll have like a straight block, and then you'll have the triangle, and I want to sew with that triangle seam up so I can get right across that point and I don't lose it.
Absolutely. That's a great tip as well. So lots of ways. This is a fun block. It's just a fun way. It's just one of our ways just to bring our quilting community together. Again, as I said, if you'd like to send a block in, the pattern and the information on the website has the address you can send those to, and we'll make a quilt up for Leah Louise. And if we have extra blocks, we'll do the back. And if we have extra blocks after that, maybe we'll take another, we'll make another quilt, and we'll donate it to, someone affected by the next hurricane or Milton or something like that. We'll figure it out as time goes. But again, no obligation to do that. It's just something we're doing. I thought what I do now is just, anybody have any questions? I know I've been talking and demoing. I'm going to scroll back up through the chat. Leah, can you talk just a little bit about what actually happened, that night?
Well, the first probably 5 or 6 days, I was doing a video every day. I think that was sort of my therapy and my way of coping and understanding what happened, because I'm used to doing videos, and to be able to share that with people, what I was going through and thinking and seeing, it helped me to kind of work through what was happening. But that morning, Thursday morning, we went to bed, and we all, what was it? No, it was Thursday night. We went to bed and said, all right, we're going to get some wind tonight, sleep well, see you in the morning. And so we tucked ourselves in, and at about 4:15, 4 o'clock, somewhere in there, my husband and I had to get up and make a pit stop, and we crawled back in bed, and we're going, wow, yeah, we can hear some wind, we can hear some rain, but it's not a lot to worry about. And we felt pretty comfortable, and we're settling back in to go to sleep. And then I heard it, and I've been through the eye of two hurricanes, one in West Palm Beach, Florida, and one on an island in the Bahamas. And in those situations, there's a sound that you hear from a hurricane, and it's like whipping wind. If you've ever been in a blizzard, there's a strong wind, and it pulsates, and it just pumps air at you, and whatever's in the air, whether it be rain, snow, hail, or sleet, right? Well, this was different. Um, I grew up in elementary school in Colorado, and we have tornadoes out there, and we had tornado horns in the community, and we had tornado drills in school. So, fortunately, I've seen my share of various kinds of storms. But when I heard this, I knew it wasn't just a hurricane, and there was this whooshing, churning sound that we could hear above our house. And then all of a sudden, when that sound escalated, there was this huge crash as this tree fell through our house. And folks, I don't know where you are in your personal journey in life, but it's our faith that brought us through this. And if you look at the roof in any of my videos, not a single shingle is disturbed. The only thing that was damaged was where the tree went. And if you look, you can see what I believe is the hands of God putting that tree right down between our bedrooms. And so it crashed through the living room, the front window, both the bathrooms, out the back of the house, but our bedrooms were safe. Initially, we're calling out to each other because we wanted to make sure our son on the other side of the house is okay. But the wind was whipping, the ceiling and the roof caved in on the living room. It's raining inside our house. We have puddles of water. Wires are hanging everywhere. And then finally, we can hear each other. And obviously, what I believe is a tornado, went on and went around us. And so, having grown up as the children of volunteer firefighters, my husband and I are like, okay, pack a bag, we're out of here. And so we all threw some clothes together, and we muddled through the living room, and we worked our way to the back of the house, which is the sewing room. And there it stood in all its glory. My sewing machine, everything, my computer, and that part of the house wasn't hit, as the kitchen was still accessible. So we sat there while it was still dark and waited for the rest of the storm to pass. And as soon as the sun came up, we put our coats on and we went outside. And there were people already standing out in front of our house going, "Oh my gosh, you're alive. We didn't know what happened. We didn't know what was going on. We're so glad you're okay." And so as the storm was still blowing through, I grabbed my phone. I said, okay, I've got to do this. And I'm just talking into it. I said, this is us right now. Here we are. And you can see the wind and the rain blowing me. And it was just such an intensely incredible moment of life that we survived. And there's so many people who have incredible destruction. And the other confirmation to me of a hurricane is we have lots of trees around us, and at about 20 to 25 feet, all those trees lost their tops. They were just cut right off, like they were sheared off and snapped, not a clean break. And so all these pieces, and I don't know how many trees in Augusta were blown over, and we're talking thousands. And so there was no power in the city. A lot of places didn't have water. Fortunately, we did have water. But you couldn't get out of your neighborhoods because all the roads were blocked with trees. And it was just such a chaotic first few days. And then people were able to get into the city, and we were just shut down. There was nothing. And people were coming in from Atlanta and from Columbia, South Carolina, and south. And obviously the storm went northeast of us, and God bless those people up in Asheville and eastern Tennessee. I want to give a shout out to Sue Bennett, who survived the Asheville storm up there from Helene. And so many people are devastated up there. And I'm just so grateful and praying for her. And she sent such kind words. And I can't tell you how much every message has meant to me. I also want to give a shout out to Retha, who's in South Africa. And she said, tell me how to get the pattern. I want to make a block. She says, I don't really know what hurricanes are, but I can tell from looking that they're horrible. And I want to be a part of this restoration team. And so it's been incredible for me to just feel that the caring and the love from everybody, and just, oh, and the Fabric Cut team. Oh my goodness, Marc and you and Sarah and Ricardo and Maribel. I love y'all, and I couldn't ask for better folks to be looking out after me. Thank you so much.
Well, it's our pleasure. And, you know, folks, if you want to get involved, absolutely. If you're not interested in grabbing the pattern or anything like that, one other way that you can help is find Leah Louise's socials, and I'm going to drop a few of them into chat as well here. But go to her YouTube page and watch some videos. Believe it or not, watching videos is a great way to help out, because that is one way to help keep her channel alive when she's not posting. People, the mystical world of the internet and how it operates, there's all these little calculators going all the time. And so having that channel continue to get views, and it doesn't mean just open a video and close it. It means watching some video. I leave mine on just to leave. I have 2 videos running every morning while I'm working in the background, just to make sure that your channel stays strong in the algorithm, so that when you're ready and able to come back and start posting videos, you're not producing videos that aren't seen. You're at the same level that you worked so hard to get to. So that's another way, folks, that you can help out. I drop those socials into chat for you. Please give them a link or to give them a look.
And if anyone wants to see the hurricane videos, I have a playlist called Leah Louise there, so they're in one place to find.
All right, yeah, definitely look at that playlist. So, okay, any questions before we let Leah go for the night? It's of course 8:30 there, and they're running on generators, so we don't want to keep her too long.
That's right. That's right.
And I can hear the internet's kind of waning for her at this moment. So if you have any questions, drop them real quick. Otherwise, we'll have to say goodbye, and we'll continue on looking at some products here before we close out for the night. Any questions, folks?
Well, thank you again, everybody. I appreciate it. It's been wonderful to hear from y'all, and stay in touch. Let me know how you're doing, and I'll let you know where I'm at. Hopefully we'll get some videos out soon.
All right. Thanks, Leah. We'll talk to you later. Stay safe. God bless.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night. Okay, folks. So again, that program is up and running. I'm just going to put up on screen here real quick. I'm going to show you that page on the website if you'd like to get into it. Let me see here. This one here is the one we want to look at. Double check it here. Coming up. There it is. Hopefully you can see that. Yep. So there's the block itself. And again, choose how you'd like to help. That'd be great. We'll send you an email at the end of the transaction with the download link. You can drop in, send the blocks if you'd like to my office. I'll start compiling them. We'll work on getting them pieced and quilted together and all set for you. So that one is there, and you can see one of our test blocks on the screen itself. Okay. All right. So last thing I want to do is I do want to talk about a couple of new products that have come in recently, and we haven't had a chance to talk to them. So I'm going to step off camera for just a second. I'm going to grab this box. All right. So what I wanted to show you are a couple of new items that have ended up in the shop. So if you need some additional sewing needles, we do have them now. We've got sewing needles in the shop available if you need those. Just trying to add a few more notions to the selection. The sewing needles are $11.97. There's also hand sewing needles. I don't have a package of those here right now, but there's 55 of them, various sizes, hand sewing. So for those of you who like to hand piece and hand quilt, those are in there. Those are only $11.97, I believe. We also got these back in stock. These are those clips that I use when we're sewing. thanks, Diane, for watching. And I see a lot of folks coming in here. And then the last thing I want to show you is this quilt bag. There's a 2-piece on the website for $20, $19.97, I believe. It's a quilt bag, and it's just a zippered quilt bag, but it's got a nice front on it that you can see what's inside. These are lightweight quilts, so they're not very bulky, and they're not very big because they're obviously the throws. There is a bigger version that you also get with it, so this one would handle some of your bigger, heavier weight throws. But you get 2 of these in one package for the $19.97, and again, they're super roomy. I'm just going to tilt it up here. I'm not a very good Vanna. She just retired. Maybe she could come help me. I actually met Vanna White once at a craft show. She was supporting and spokesperson for Lion Brand Yarn. I have to take a picture with her. I have that somewhere in the archives. But anyways, these bags are really great. Folks are buying them quite a bit. They're not super dense, but they're nice and lightweight, and the zippers are good, and they have 2 handles on the sides, so you can get those, move them around as needed. But it's a great way to store the ones that you're not using right now and get them into, and you fold them up, you can square them up and stack them, but it's a great way to keep them dust-free until you're ready. Throw in a little potpourri sachet or something, and you are set with those. So those 3 items were new. I've got some new stuff coming up. Ladies and gentlemen, just guess what? I'm heading to the Quilt Show in Houston at the end of the month. I'll be at the actual business side of it the weekend before, not the show side, but we'll be down in Houston here shortly, taking a look at what's new in the quilt world, the sewing world, and we'll be bringing some of that new stuff back to our awesome customers. Any questions while I'm here? I know we've been talking, we've been just jamming through this tonight, but questions? Yes, the bag is nice. I love it. I actually ordered myself. That's my demo version, but I ordered a set for myself to finish up. I got projects in motion right now that will need places to go. I have quilts scattered all throughout the house right now, so I'm going to be putting those in bags. And I like the idea of keeping them dust-free until I need them. Texas is a great quilting state. I'm actually going to finish my work down there at the show and then make my way up through Texas into Dallas. I've got a map of a number of quilt shops along the way. I'm going to get to go to Waco, see Magnolia and Dr. Pepper Museum. So got a lot of that going on. So it's going to be exciting into the month. What other questions can I answer for folks today before we wrap up? We're in that 40-minute hour. Let's see. I'm just going to scroll up, see folks coming in from Alabama, all over the place. Soggy, Florida. Prayers for you down there in Florida with Milton coming through. See Katrina survivors. Carol, I'm sorry I missed your question earlier. The quilt is on the page, Facebook Live at the bottom. If you didn't get it, I'm going to drop that Facebook Live link one more time here before we wrap up tonight. But looking, what's going on? Any projects anyone's working on? International Quilt Festival, it's awesome. She'll be at festival, but not market. Doggone it. Okay, yeah, I want to do both, but I think this year we need to focus on the market, and then maybe next year plan for the whole week, where we'll stay the whole week and do a meet and greet in Houston for those who who are going to go. Maybe have a scavenger hunt with some free stuff. Who knows? Typically like to do that at the various shows I attend. So if you see me, obviously you see my face every once in a while. Definitely say hi if you see me out and about. Ghost table runner. Yes, that is so cute. I don't have one here yet. It's on its way. But it is really cute. I love the 2 colors. You can get that pink one, or you can get that green, more traditional Halloween color. It's super great. You can definitely get that done fast. It's 16, I think, by 69. Was that what it was? 16 by 69. Remember, with all the projects, all the quilt kits that you get from us, you get your top, your binding, and your backing. All you got to do is choose your your filler, your batting. All right. Anything else? Lots. Okay, so just a reminder, we talked about the Hurricane quilt block. That's out there. Hopefully the tips, I know we were split screen, so maybe you didn't get to see it too well, but check out Leah Louise's channel. She does a lot of these same tutorials. Again, as I said, a lot of stuff I've learned from her over the years. And when I first came to the Fabric Hut and knew that we were working with Leah Louise, I was super excited about that because her videos are very down to earth, straightforward, and the tips and tricks save me a ton of time, even though I don't get to sew as often as you all do. But as you can tell, my lines aren't incredibly straight, but I'm working on it. I'm getting better. Y'all are making me better, but I'm not completely solid and straight just yet, but we're getting there. So, all right, well, if there aren't any more questions, I see some folks have dropped off and the fall colors behind me, Julie. Yes, this was a product we just sold out of this last week. This was Harvest Rose. This is flannel. These were charm packs that we were selling in our shop. Super fun. I actually did a live with it. You might check the playlist. I did a live with these because we had these in the shop for $12. Let's get you up here. And it was by Maywood Studios. And there's still some out there in the wild, other shops selling it. But I used a Riley Blake pattern, just more scrappy than anything else. But the colors are great. The pack goes from this darker color to the lighter color. So on the sewing bench is the integration in the middle of these two colors. That's what I'm working on next. But we're almost done with this top. There's more strips of these done already, but we were just playing with the pattern. I was trying to get a few diagonals and a few concepts over here set up for it. But yeah, I love fall colors. Fall is my favorite time of the year. I'm a former retired now football coach, over 20 years, and fall is my favorite time, but I also love it for football, but I love it for the colors, and I like it when it gets cool because being hot is not a fun thing. So please tell me Houston is not going to be too hot. All right. Don't see any additional questions. Again, the links are in the bottom. If you'd like to get involved with the Hurricane project for Leah Louise, please do. I appreciate every single one of you who have reached out. Anyone who dropped kind words, we'll take the transcript from chat and we'll share that with Leah Louise when we're done here tomorrow. Just to let her see the output. And anyone who's dropped a note or a message on their order for the pattern, I'm compiling all of those for her as well and into a document so that she'll have that as a memory as well. The quilt bags are on our website. Diane, let's see, I can probably grab them real quick here. They're under our notions and tools on the website. There wasn't enough room on the page to get them into the sell page that has all the quilt deals and the 50 off blades, which definitely get those blades because they're on sale right now. Let me drop it here. I'm going to drop that link, Diane, right now. Takes you right to the page. Go ahead and get that ordered. Those are great. Like I said, I've got more of them coming, and for myself personally, but I have those that I use for demo as when we're on lives. And last thing before I go, and I know that we've lost a lot of folks and many folks won't see this, but we do have our giveaway going on this month. So there's a customer appreciation product giveaway every day at noon Pacific time. I'm coming online, picking a customer who has made a purchase over the last 90 days, do a random drawing, and they get a free gift product. So definitely check that out if you haven't seen those marketing materials or those emails or messages coming out or notifications on Facebook or YouTube. That's happening, so definitely get involved with that. Remember, any order that you place today enters you for the rest of the month because that's that 90-day window. Just our way of saying thank you for being a valued customer. And again, I love all of you. Wouldn't be here without you. And this outpouring of support for Leah Louise and even all the folks affected by these natural disasters, not only this one, the ones in the past, all the way back. I mean, our community has always been strong. We talk about Quilt of Valor. We talk about all these other initiatives, Project Linus, all these other initiatives. We are a strong, caring, and giving community, and I couldn't be prouder to be associated with each and every one of you. Wish you all the best as we go into the weekend. We'll be back next week, and look forward to seeing you then. We'll get some other things. If you have any ideas for shows, things you want to see, definitely send me a note, customercare@thefabrichut.com. Definitely see those. Remember, everything comes through me, and I'm the guy you talk to. Talk to you later.